had 3 credit cards that were empty. I had a personal loan that I could get 10 grand from. Technically I can make this work if I then empty my bank account as well. And I remember sitting there just thinking, do I do that? Because I've lost my job now, I've handed my notice in, there's no way to retract that. Do I go all in here? Or do I just say it's not going to work and I can't go forward with this and lose that dream?
So, thank you for the message first and foremost. Tell me a little bit more about what exactly do you want from this series that you mentioned?
I think it's super important. Like, I want it to be real. I think people see opening a business as this like glossy, like Instagram ready moment, but then there's also this like loneliness of the journey that no one really tells you about, like all the doubts, the mistakes, the small wins that keep you going. I just really think I want to show all of that.
Not just a highlight reel.
No, exactly. And for me, I think there's like other parts of it as well. Like being a female studio owner like comes with its own set of challenges as well. Whether that's people like underestimating you, not being taken seriously as a female in the fitness industry. But there's just also so much joy in it. Community that we're building here at Après, it honestly just like fills my heart. It's not always enough every single day. You need to feel like you're building on all sides to feel like you actually can keep going like long term on this.
And more of like a reality check of opening a business.
I want someone to watch this and feel like, okay, it's hard. It's going to be hard, but it is possible. Whatever anybody has done in the past, they are just a human being and you are as well. So there's nothing you really can't do, but being prepared is obviously the key to it. So if it can give them the push to start, then, it'll be worthwhile. I hope I'll be there with them in a few years' time. I'm only 6 months in. This isn't the end of the journey. Like, I don't know if it's going to work, but let's hope that we can keep building.
Absolutely. Let's get to work and document it.
So I'm Kim Mansell and I founded Après London, which is in Deptford in South East London. I've always been into sport and fitness, even from a young age, always quite active, but I didn't actually start going to the gym until I was at university. It wasn't until 2021 that I joined a gym, and that's where I really got interested in functional fitness, hybrid training, and wanted to partake in things like High Rocks, which were competitions that anybody could access. So that's where my interest in fitness just really elevated. And there was a coach there. They were like, you should go and do this, like go and get your qualifications. This is something you should do. You're passionate about, you should go and do it. By October, I'd secured my first coaching role, which was on top of my corporate job I had at the time. I could get up at 5 a.m. and travel into central London and coach these classes and like feel energized and enthusiastic about doing that. But if you asked me to get up by 9 o'clock to walk to my living room, like zero energy and enthusiasm for that. When you walk into a room and you start coaching people and you see that even just every time someone picks up that next weight or does that next rep, you're just absolutely buzzing. That's the energy that you get from being a coach.
And how did you get to doing it full time eventually?
That was the first time that I quit my corporate job and I went into fitness full time in the January. So this was only a year after taking my own fitness and training seriously. But just before I started that, I had quite a bad car accident where a lorry kind of took me off the road on the motorway. And because of the injuries that I sustained in that car accident, within 4 to 6 weeks of being there, I just couldn't carry on. So my first attempt at being a full-time fitness person ended up being the shortest career ever. I had to then go back and get a corporate job, which was just so heartbreaking at the time. So I was offered this role by these people that came to me, headhunted me, and then just as quickly as they came to me, they kind of took it away again, losing that opportunity again. And it was the same company that I tried to be a part of the year before. By this point, it's like, I feel like I've lost now so much time that I could have been doing something that I love. That's the point at which I was like, I can't foresee myself going and working for another company because I don't think the support systems are in place for this type of career.
What made you have the confidence to go ahead and do it?
So at the time I was training at a gym in Woolwich, a place called 7R Training, and the guy that owns and runs that gym is just the most amazing person. And he'd also come from a corporate background and made that transition later in his career to be in fitness full time. remember standing in here after a session, and there was me, you, and another girl that was hanging about after the class.
Yeah.
And we were just chatting about how cool gyms are.
How cool gyms are. Gyms are cool spaces. They're cooler than offices, I think.
I remember talking to him about what my idea for Après was, and just like saying, oh, it'd be awesome if you like had this space and it did this and it was like this. And he was like, yeah, that's a sick idea. Go and do it.
Yeah, for sure.
And I was like, yeah, but I don't have the money to do that. And you're like, you can find it.
The most daunting part is just how the hell do I go from 0 to 1? But
Or
once
the
you've
bit-
figured out how to go from 0 to 1, going from 1 to 2,
Yeah.
suddenly doesn't seem as daunting. The reason I was just so forward in AI, because I remember that conversation, and the reason I was just so forward and forthcoming with it was just because I wish somebody had said the same thing to me
Yeah.
a little bit sooner.
Because you were
Because for
corporate
so
world as well.
for super corporate world, just like yourself, yeah. For so long, I was just kicking the can down the road of like, one day I will do this thing. One day I will do this thing.
Yeah.
Just consistently thinking that it required me to have hundreds of thousands of pounds sitting in my bank account to take a step towards that dream. It all just starts with an open and honest conversation, right?
Yeah.
And it's just open and honest conversations with as many different people as possible.
The other part was that you then let me come and trial the concept
Yeah.
in your gym.
Yeah.
And that's just crazy.
Why?
Like, because it's one thing to be supportive,
Yeah.
but it's another thing to hand your gym over to me and say, here's my members. Yeah, exactly. You said, here's an hour, come and trial that class here. Like, I have ski ergs, come and do it, see if the concept works. And if I hadn't have done that, I wouldn't have had a bit of a more solid idea of how it was when I opened. And once you kind of figured out that there was a way to do that, and actually you could open a gym with a fairly restricted budget. I don't need, hundreds of thousands of pounds to actually get this off the ground. But yeah, he was the one that was like, find a way. If you want it, go and get it. Moving forward to then, so in July, I found out that I could get the startup loans, and I put in the first application. I had to find a space to put on that application. It's an archway there that I found. I put all the pieces together, that puzzle, and put that application in with a full business plan around October. And that's the point at which I started building out the brand as well. So thinking about what's the logo, what does it stand for, reasoning behind this brand and behind what we do in the room here. So I was working 40 hours a week in a corporate job, 10 hours a week on top other coaching jobs, and then I had my online coaching clients as well. And this was all about just building as much of a nest egg as I could to support myself in the new year for when I actually opened. Working tirelessly, long hours has just been a continuous transition. It's not been something new for me. I've been doing it for like the best part of a year because I needed that money behind me and it wasn't going to come from anywhere else. And just seeing if I could go for it, yeah. I guess I am making it sound like it was all really straightforward, and it wasn't. Application went in and I was told it was a 2 to 3 day turnaround period to get a decision on whether or not you accepted. I was expecting to get 50k. I actually was only able to apply for 25, which left me quite short. So I was having to find ways to make up the rest of that money. So I had my notice in November, application went in December. I was waiting for the council to approve the change of use on the premises. The minute that came through, my application for the loan went in. So I was expecting that money to be in my account within a week. I had the landlord waiting for me to sign the contract. I had contractors waiting to start. It was the most stressful period of my life. I waited for weeks and weeks for that decision to come in, and it never did. I've got all this money sitting in the bank that was meant to be my nest egg, that was meant to be to support myself personally through that period of time. And I'm sat there with like, what do I do? I remember sitting on my sofa at about 10 o'clock on a Friday night. I had 3 credit cards that were empty, all like, with a good amount of money sitting on them, just not being used. I had a personal loan that I could get 10 grand from, and there was ways to get equipment on finance. And I was like, technically I can make this work if I then empty my bank account as well. And I remember sitting there just thinking, do I do that? Because I've lost my job now, I've handed my notice in, there's no way to retract that. Do I go all in here? Or do I just say, it's not gonna work and I can't go forward with this and lose that dream?